Peace, 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 peace. We live.
Peace, 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 peace.
Peace, 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 peace. How everybody doing today?
Outstandingly amazing.
Great, great.
Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. Gratitude, gratitude is the attitude. Let me see if I got something over here. Nah, I thought I had something, but peace and love to everyone, all those that's tapping in, everybody that might be out making their runs, etc. We give you love and honor. I thought I had a little something. Give me 1 second. Let me see. I want to see if I can find something. 1 second. We'll get right started.
Wow.
It ain't that important. I said, ain't that important. Malik, can we get our Morse American prayer if you don't mind, over?
Allah, Father of the universe, Father of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Allah is my protector, my God, my salvation, by night and by day, through his holy prophet, through Ali. I mean, I say, Shalom Aleichem, Ayah Islamism. Peace, 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 peace.
Peace, 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 y'all.
Peace.
Let's see what we got going on today. On this beautiful day. I hope everybody having an amazing day. There's so much going on in the world today. Those that's at work, please have a great day. Let's see. That was this morning. But it's always an honor, man, to be amongst y'all brothers. And I know a lot of times this is our school, so BBT is not a church, but a school. We're here to learn. We're here to learn history, civics, and spirituality, who we are. But before my message, because I want to talk about God gives wealth and write down Deuteronomy 8 and 17. But then I'm gonna play a little clip, and then we have dialogue, and then we out of here. But I want to talk about a little something because I love to read different books and things and get wisdom. And a lot of time our brothers and sisters are lost due to a lack of knowledge because we refuse to learn. And a lot of times we give up on ourselves because the people that we are around. And sometimes we just don't reflect and look at the man in the mirror, as Malik can say, and check some things and balances that I say I want. If I say I don't want this, then I shouldn't deal with it. If I say I do want this, then I'm gonna go after that. It's an analogy, and I always give wisdom. And I'm gonna use this analogy, and I want people, let's have dialogue. We in school. The backwards law. Why doing less helps you achieve more. Do anybody understand that concept? Remember, everything is taught in reverse. So as I'm teaching, I'm giving wisdom. Backwards law. Remember, if everything was taught in reverse, now you got to start using your brain that a lot of our brothers and sisters don't use. Before I even get into this teaching, Noble Malik, I always have to share things that a lot of my alumni at GCU and a lot of different places that I deal with, because I deal with a lot of different ethnicity groups, nationalities, and different business people. And this is what a lot of people told me today. They said, misnomer Black people, they pay to get scammed instead of donate to get educated. Did y'all hear that?
Absolutely. True. I heard that today too. True.
Yep. It said Black people will pay to get scammed instead of donate to get educated. And these are, Europeans, Albany, whatever you want to talk about or call them, that I had the pleasure to graduate with at GCU alumni, because we watch things. A lot of stuff I'll be talking about, men be acting like they don't know what I'm talking about, but they all on social media. Like right now, they was like, I can't believe misnomer Black people is getting hustled with this Cash App thing. Put your Cash App on TikTok and act like you're going to get some money. And you see all Negroes doing it. And then when I speak upon this stuff, misnomer Black people act like they don't know what I'm talking about, but then they the ones getting scammed, Malik. Do you hear me?
Absolutely.
All these Black people with this sovereign citizen stuff. Is this only targeted to Negroes? And I had the conversation because a lot of my college alumni, they look at my YouTube channel and they keep asking me, why are you educating people? Your people don't like education. They like to get scammed. They're like, if you were the scam artist selling fake nationality or selling some dream, then that's what they pay for. But he's like, your people don't donate to get educated. They're like, shit, you've been doing this too long. You've been doing this too long. You've been telling people about taxes and all this, and it still fall on deaf ears. They're like, come to us, please, and leave Negroes alone. I hate to say this. I always going to share everything that I get with me to y'all. So that's why I'm going back to my city. You know, I feel lonely. I feel left out. I'm being pulled out here in Arizona with all different nationalities, and I can't even get my own people that look like me. I can't even do lectures in my own city with these dumb, dead black churches, and I get to do all this stuff with you.
Ain't that the same issue? Ain't that the same issue Issa had too?
Yes. Yes, Malik. Yes, this is what I'm telling people. I'm not upset. What I'm saying, I'm seeing that misnumbered black people is some of the most stupidest people in the world. No disrespect, because I'm not black. Negro keep saying I'm black and I'm proud, and white people laugh and they say black has no standing in law. Black has no standing in law. And we're the only group of people that are paid to get scammed instead of donate to get educated. These is facts. That's why I say our family, I love my family, but our families are dysfunctional, period. I don't care. I only can talk about my family and the city of Flint. A lot of our families are dysfunctional. Why? Because we don't support each other. We don't support nothing. We run all these different churches and come home and talk stuff. We don't support nothing. We'll never have nothing. Misnomer black people would never have nothing. Why? Because tell me what you support with your money and your time. And then I'll tell you if you have something. Nothing. Nothing. We don't learn nothing. We won't even sit down and put no money to something. Our whole families, we got over 300-400 family members. That's enough to do anything and have a multi-million-dollar organization. And then we can do stuff. But we don't. We don't. We go to church and Jesus gonna fix it. No, he not. You, Jesus, you fix it. Get off your knees. They got us all acting like something wrong with money. What's wrong with, what are you talking about? Ecclesiastes chapter 10, verse 19, wine is made for laughter, but money trumps all things. They want us to be broke, poor, and on our knees. I don't rock like that. Why doing less help you achieve more? This is my pre-topic. We're going to get into the main topic. Have you ever found yourself stuck, nobles? Trying the same old approaches to achieve your goals, only to end up frustrated and no closer to success? I found myself doing that. I found myself worrying about everybody. I found myself worrying about men instead of letting it go. Because I can't fix me. I've been doing this stuff for too long. What if there was a counter-intuitive way of thinking that could help you break out of that pattern and finally make progress? But see, my people are lost due to a lack of knowledge, Malik, because they refuse to learn. Emotions is messing up men. Men are emotional in shambles. That's why I say enter the backwards law. This is all biblical, a paradoxical idea that suggests doing the opposite of what you normally would can actually lead to success. Some people say it may sound counter intuitive, but there's science to back it up. I deal with science. I don't care what no Negro say. I don't care what men lie. I don't care what nobody say. I deal with science, law, and mathematics, and I ain't been proven wrong yet. How it works and how you can use it to achieve your goals. When I talk about a paradox, the backwards law, also known as the law of reverse, or I like to call it this reverse effort, is a psychological concept that suggests that the harder we try to do something, the less likely we are to succeed. I've been up all night on this. I said, man, I'm putting too much effort in me. It ain't nothing that I can do. I got to worry about me. Because when it happens, then because it's going to happen. I can't put my success and my dedication and how I'm committed with everybody else. I can't. I got to go. I got to be like Cheers. I got to go where everybody know my name. And sometimes it's not in your own community or with your own people. I understand that all the way. I do. This idea may seem odd, as we're often told that success requires hard work. But I said the only thing a hard worker get is what, y'all?
More work, more work.
You damn right. And everybody, I'm a hard worker. I'm a hard worker, brother. I'm the first one there. So what? So? But you don't do the same thing with yourself. You don't grind hard. You don't get up. You don't work out. You don't dedicate yourself, but you're so dedicated to the job. Oh, I'm gonna work overtime, but you ain't got no more money. You ain't got your own shit. You ain't got no new car. You ain't got no new nothing. So what you do with your paper? The first thing you got to do is get your mind right. Get your mind right. But however, this law process that our effects can actually work against us if we're not careful. Why? Cause and effect. Those are the what? One of the 7 Kemetic principles. This is why I'm welcome in all houses, because I can use regular books. Everybody ain't religious or believe in God or this. I can talk about water and get the person that don't believe in nothing to rock with me. That's what a God man does. My own people don't see who I am. This is why I'm hurt. This is why my heart hurt every morning when I'm at night contemplating. I said, my people don't see that I'm for them, that I love my people so much. We blind. Here it is, Melchizedek in the flesh, and we still ain't rocking with it. We wait for something to fall out the sky.
Miseducated.
It's sad. Its origin can be traced back to the work of psychologists and philosophers. It's a book by Alan Watts, and the book is called On the Taboo Against Knowing Who You Are. The reason why I know this, because in my academia endeavors, I was able to lecture and talk about these things, and all my lectures was packed. Not one Negro was there. Packed. All European professors paying me, donating, and I can't get my people. I got a plethora of wisdom, understanding, and holistic wisdom. And my brothers are struggling because they ain't using it. We ain't using it. We say what we want, and then what we do, we get exactly what we say we don't want. You ain't using your power. Malik gave an analogy in one day, well, all the time, because nobody be dropping wisdom. He say, oh, these women love these date shows where they go on a show and the man has got all these women to choose from. And then when you courting, you just settle with one woman and she ain't for you. You done wasted your time on the other women that might be interested in you.
Facts.
Yeah, we worry about society, but so what are you doing? We wasting our time in life trying to make other people happy. Are you happy? No. No, you ain't happy. You faking the front. That's why you busy so much. And I ain't talking about nobody. I'm saying in general. I talk about myself. That's why you busy so much. That's why you pull like a Raggedy Ann doll. No focus. It's like ADHD. Soon as somebody says something, oh, I'm gone, fear. Then you see yourself nowhere. I got 4, 5 jobs. How much money you save? 0. Because your mind ain't right. Think about this. In the book, Alan writes, when you try to stay on the surface of the water, you sink. But when you try to sink, you float. Did you catch that?
Yeah, I thought that.
Okay. This idea forms the basis of the backwards law. The harder we try to achieve a goal, the more we resist it, and the more likely we are to fail.
Because you're rowing your boat up the stream. That's why.
Come on, Malik. And that's what Negroes doing still. They won't admit it. That's why I said the part of healing is admitting you got a problem. How somebody gonna heal you? Oh, I ain't no drunk, but you smell like alcohol and your car tow up. But I don't got no drinking problem. I'm cool. No, you ain't. It turns our assumptions about success and effort on their heads instead of focusing on working harder and pushing ourselves to the limit. Because I say you work smart, not hard. It suggests that we should try doing the opposite, relaxing, letting go of our expectations and allowing things to happen naturally. I had to give up expectations on my brothers and sisters. Man, I'm telling you, I had this guy who was whooping my boy. He said, you can't expect the things out of other people that you expect of yourself because they ain't there. And some people just flat out fucking lying. Excuse my candor. If you don't like what I'm saying, so what? I know, Malik. I know it. I got to let go of expectations for others. I can't expect nobody to do what I do or love how I love or put their money into where I put my money in or be honest. I got to have no expectations and whatever happens, love that. I got to allow things to happen organically. I've learned that. So if everything crumbles, I don't give a damn. It's God's will. Because I can't put my faith in man. I can't. I'm done. Me and the lie in your face. I used to deal with a dude that I helped everything. And here it is I used to pay the dude just to play some freaking music. And when it's time to donate, he'd go in his pocket, might have $1,000 and try to give me $5. And I'm paying this Negro. I ain't got time to be wasting my time with potent people. I don't. Why? Because black people will pay to get scammed instead of donate to get educated. Look at all these scams, black people. Right now, you got this Cash App thing. Put your cash out there. Oh, everybody. Oh, I'm dealing with houses. I got this. Oh, I can sit at home, pay for your leisure. All of them is Negroes. All them Negroes that I know, most of the Negroes that I'm dealing with, they got scammed already, and they won't even tell the truth. I told y'all, men, they focus is a tittle. A lot of us men focus is a tittle. Why? Because we got so much of this in our ears. And a lot of chatter come from the women you chasing. Point blank. And this may seem like a passive approach, but it's based on the understanding that our efforts can sometimes be counterproductive. And that success often comes when we're not actively striving for it. I'm trying to tell you, you just gotta do. And when you're doing, all the stuff gonna come. Examples of the backwards law in action can be found in a wide range of contexts, from sports to business to personal relationships. For instance, y'all, athletes who overthink their performance, Malik, may find themselves making more mistakes, while those who relax and trust their instincts often perform better. I'm operating on instincts, Malik, and muscle memory. I ain't thinking, oh, here come Malik. I ain't know he do this all the time. My muscle memory, whoop, behind my back, whoop, crossover, Euro. What are we talking about? Instincts.
Myself.
You ain't have no instincts if you ain't never doing the damn thing. And in personal, I know. In business, companies that focus too much on their bottom line may end up losing sight of their purpose and ultimate fail, while those that prioritize their values and mission tend to be more successful. What value, what prioritize, what? Our mission. We got to prioritize our values and mission. I've learned to do that. We become more successful. I got to go where, I'm like Cheers. I got to go where people love me. And if they don't love me, I got to go with people that will give me an opportunity. And it ain't even with my people. That's the sad part. I've been saying this for years. Now what's happening? And what everybody gonna say, oh, Kareem sold out because he got money now. You can be like, no, the hell he didn't. That man been doing everything for free. That man been doing charity all his life. Now the bag came in, he got millions, and he done cut everybody out. He more than welcome to do that. He more than welcome to do that.
You didn't cut them out, they cut themselves out.
Family too. I told y'all. Everybody keep thinking, well, I don't waste my time on nothing. Everything I do is a purpose. Why? Because my life is driven. I have a purpose-driven life. I don't do nothing osmosis. If I'm doing something for anybody, that means I love you. And if I don't get the same thing, I'm done messing with you. My wife will tell you, I'm done messing with you. Well, I'm blocking numbers, peace. Because it's dysfunctional. When family don't support each other, when friends don't support each other, that's dysfunctional. And in personal relationships, individuals who try hard to impress others may end up coming across as insecure. Like a lot of these people, they're trying to press people and trying to press a woman. You insecure. While those who are authentic and true to themselves tend to attract more positive attention, Malik. See, me and we talk about this. We talk about it. Here it is, we grown men and we still come to the round table and get advice from each other. When you authentic and true to yourself, you attract more. Why? Because I'm telling you, when you lying, you ain't no good. You a grown man lying. I ain't got to lie to no woman or no man. If I ain't messing with you, I'm going to tell you to your face. If I love you, I'm going to tell you to your face. And then we can back it up by science. The backwards law is not just a philosophical concept. It's also backed up by science. And there are several psychological concepts that help explain why doing the opposite of what we normally would can be effective. One such concept is the idea of ironic processes, also known as, write this down, the white bear phenomenon. This concept suggests that when we try to suppress certain thoughts, Malik, or behaviors, Malik, we actually end up thinking about them more. When I try to suppress how I feel about my brother, when I try to suppress about a lot of the things that I went through in life when I got my dual master degrees and my own people that look like me that got positions wouldn't open the door for me, oh, I was pissed. And I tried to suppress it, but I'm talking about it now because it's healing me. I'm talking about what happened with my brother death. I'm talking about how misnomer black people ain't nothing in positions that'll help you. They'll watch you struggle. Your own family death will watch you struggle and to talk shit and to watch you struggle. See you build to something so beautiful and won't help. Man, go on, man. Go on. Go on. With family like some of us have, we don't need no enemies. We don't.
Psychosis.
Here it is, family. I support you. And your family can't even donate $30, $40 consistently to build something for our family when a lot of our mothers and fathers getting ready to be gone. What we gonna have? What we gonna have for ourselves, family and friends? Nothing. Nothing. What we gonna be doing is giving our money away and Uncle, I'm finna get a tax return. You ain't getting no tax return. You ain't getting no tax return. You don't know that? This is because our brain has a monitoring process that checks to see if we're avoiding certain thoughts or behaviors, Noble. And when we try too hard to suppress them, our brain sends us what? Reminders of what we're trying to avoid, making it more difficult to do so. I'm talking about myself. And if you can't heal yourself and you can't talk about yourself to heal somebody else, you ain't nothing either. You ain't nothing either. I'm talking about myself. The more I tried to suppress the hurt and the pain that I was going through when the Negroes killed my brother, I'm trying to suppress, act like ain't nothing wrong. I'm crying every 5 minutes. People like, what's wrong? I'm like, ain't nothing wrong. But I'm looking at misnumbered black people as the enemy. Why? Because the Negro killed my brother. That's why. I'm trying to avoid it. We don't love each other. We walk around all hard like we some goddamn gorillas in the mist instead of nobles loving on each other. Got time for that?
Go ahead and talk about it so you can heal. Go ahead and talk about it.
That's the only way, Malik. I had to. Man, I'm in a group right now with people that don't even look like me. I don't even share it. I go every Wednesday. I talk to a whole group of people that don't even look like me, and they ask me, why are you still dealing with black people? I say, Negro, I almost cuss. I said, what I look like? I'm a misnomer black person. I got to do this till the flesh gone. Why? Because there's some people I'm going to save.
Me.
Thank you. It's some people I'm going to save. If I save one person, I've done my job. I tell people I didn't get in this to be rich. Everybody else rich. If everybody else support like we do, we have a rich organization. We can help everybody because we have $1 million operation, $1 million+ operation in one calendar year. All the work that we say we want to do, it can be done. It can be done with who? Family and friends. That's it. But this is similar.
No sideline busters, though. No sideline busters.
No, I mean, for real, we got to call it out. We try to avoid something. The more likely we are to think about it or experience it. Another psychological concept that supports the backwards law is the Yerkes-Dodson law. See, all the stuff I learned in school because I have my undergrad in business. When I talk about Maslow's hierarchy of power and authority, this law suggests that there's an optimal level of arousal for achieving peak performance. Just like when we have the meetings, I ask people, have you ever heard of Maslow's, how you handle meetings? No. I said, well, that's what you don't understand about process and getting things done the right way. Negroes just talking. When we are too aroused or not aroused enough, our performance suffers. Give you an analogy. Okay, in sex, if you ain't aroused, your performance suffer. Am I right about it?
Absolutely. That's like endorphin levels. Endorphin levels kicking in.
Thank you. This concept applies to the backwards law. In that if we try too hard to achieve a goal, we can't become too aroused or stressed, Malik, which can actually hinder our performance. I had to learn this. It was sitting right in front of me.
You gotta be in a relaxed state of mind.
Yes, Malik was sitting right in front of me. I had to go the other day, and a person that I'm counseling, a person that I'm mentoring is like, Sheik, you already broke it down. And he was like, Sheik, you care too much about everybody. They were like, Sheik, you gonna have a heart attack. They were like, yeah, it ain't going the right way. Everybody got the finances, they ain't doing it. That ain't on you. That ain't on you. Say, keep going to get more. You might have to leave again where you at and go get more. He was like, but this is a European man. I said, damn, that love me like a brother and call me Melchizedek. I teach his children. This is what baffling me. And he's like, man, this is going to hinder your performance, brother. You the one did the lecture on college campus, talk about the animal instincts, how a lot of your own people are energy suckers, slaves. Slaves are energy suckers. When you ain't a slave, you trying to show a slave that they ain't a slave, they're an energy sucker. Let their ass be a slave. On the other hand, if we relax and let things happen naturally, we may be able to achieve the optimal level of arousal and perform at our best. I understand it now. Just like that dude shooting the jump shots and making them all. I understand it now. I understand it now because, see, I'm a life student still. I don't minister for nobody else. Everybody be like, oh, he was talking about me. Negro, you ain't that important to me. I'm talking about me. I'm applying this to my life. My life. The backwards law may seem counterintuitive at first, but it can actually be a powerful tool for personal growth and achievement. And I'm gonna give y'all some practical tips for applying it to your life. And then we're gonna get with the main topic and we out of here. 1, identify your goals. I ask people, what's your goals? I don't know. So you don't have no diary, you don't write no goals, you don't have no goals. You have no goals, that's your problem. Before you can apply this technique, you need to know what you are trying to achieve. The Bible says, write the vision down and make it plain. Take some time to reflect on your goals and what you want to accomplish in your life. But some people don't have no goals. Some people's spouses don't even have no freaking goals. You just paying bills. Identify your usual approach. Once you know your goals, think about your usual approach to achieving them. Do you tend to take an active, effortful approach, or do you tend to avoid certain actions or thoughts? What you mean? When somebody say it's stupid and then you don't do it, or somebody don't like what you do, but then you gotta like what they do. Ain't that a beat? Oh, I don't like what you do, but this is what I like to do, and you gotta like what somebody else do. Man, y'all, we crazy. Do the opposite based on your usual approach. Try doing the opposite. And if you tend to avoid certain actions or thoughts, try confronting them head on. And if you tend to be active and effortful, try relaxing and letting things happen naturally. Practice mindfulness. Mindfulness can be a helpful tool when applying the backwards law. By being aware of your thoughts and actions, you can more easily identify when you're falling into your usual approach and make a conscious effort to do the opposite. Because most people fall right back in that situation. Look, you start and then what? You stop. Why? Why we stop things? Sometimes it might be a mate. Sometimes it might be the people around. And sometimes it might be the city we in that we should have left a long time ago. But we afraid. See, we afraid. And when you're afraid, then fear, dopamine. This technique may not work immediately, and it may take some time to see results. People don't even want to tie. They want to act like they some microwave nigga. They put it in the microwave, come out, I'm in shape. No, fool. Be patient and persistent in your efforts, and don't give up if you don't see immediate success. Or you're going to stop working out because you fat, then Lord knows I'll know. You worked out for 1 month. I don't see no results, but you still eat fast food. Stick with it. We don't stick with nothing. We don't. Somebody called right now, hey man, you do this? Oh man, I can't do it. Why? Because I got to go over here. And then after you do all that, spend your time and your gas, how much money you make? $0. The woman you dealing with don't help you do nothing. The woman you dealing with don't help you do nothing. All she want to do is spin and watch Love and Hip Hop. Despite its potential benefits, there are some common misconceptions that are important to address. And one misconception is that the backwards law suggests that we should always do the opposite of what we normally would. This is not necessarily the case. It is more about being aware of our usual approach and being willing to try something different when our usual approach isn't working. And your usual approach ain't working. You've been putting new wine in old vessels, and you know them vessels crack, but you still doing the dumb stuff. That's why I said, man, I don't care about these Moors and all these sovereign citizens on TikTok, on the internet. All y'all criminals. Everybody on TikTok, oh, that paperwork, give me this. RICO law, you all going to jail. You all going to jail. And I tell y'all the task force that's on the internet right now, y'all all going to jail. Roger Elvey. We don't have nothing. This is dysfunctional. This is all dysfunctional. Backwards law is a paradoxical concept that can be difficult to grasp at first. It may even seem counterintuitive, but the science behind it, the examples, I showed you that it can be an incredibly effective tool for personal growth and achievement. By being willing to step out of your usual approach, you can break free from old patterns and discover new ways of achieving your goal. You can find courage to face your fears, take risks, and embrace uncertainty. We can't let go of our need for control and learn to trust the process of life. But perhaps most importantly, it reminds us that our thoughts and beliefs are powerful forces that shape our reality. What, you believe you a sovereign citizen? You following out Roger Elvick, you on TikTok, thinking some Negro on the internet with some paper, oh, I need that, I need that. You got to be a fool. By being mindful of our thoughts and intentionally choosing to think in ways that support our goals, we can create a life that is fulfilling, meaningful, and joyful. But most Black people don't. No disrespect, especially the Moors that I've met, all criminals. Every last one of them Negroes, straight up criminals. That's why they're not here. As I teach Europeans, and I go to college and they say, well, we follow this Moorish science, but the science you teach, what these Negroes on the internet, they are going to jail. Everybody bums. Somebody read Deuteronomy 8 and 17 real fast. Now we're in our main topic. It ain't gonna take long. I'm gonna play this little video that I share with y'all in the text stream, and we out of here. We're gonna talk about it and we out of here. Can somebody give me Deuteronomy 8 and 17, please? I'll wait. I ain't in no rush. My people lost due to a lack of knowledge. We don't want to learn nothing. What we want to do, we're going to get on TikTok and be a paper terrorist. We want to follow Roger Elvick, Europeans. We want to follow these old Negroes with Mr. T, talk about some secret meeting on some Jekyll Island. How you know about a secret meeting? If it's so secret, how you know? This is what I be telling y'all. We got to stop listening to these old farts. And y'all here on the internet act like it's some special law for sovereign citizen Negroes with dirty fezes on. Nope. Did somebody get me Deuteronomy 8 and 17 yet? Nope. Anybody?
I got one version, Noble.
Yeah, give it to me out of King James, because that's what the Negroes love, so they don't read nothing else. Give me the King James. The Hebrew Israelite, they don't read nothing but the King James. So let's read in the King James version. This is what I'll be saying, man. My people lost due to a lack of knowledge. I'll wait.
You said
I won't be able to read it.
You said
I know it's all good, Malik. Deuteronomy 8 and 17.
It says, you may say to yourself, my power and the strength of my hands have produced this wealth for me. But remember the Lord your God, for it is he who gives you the ability to produce wealth, and so confirms his covenant, which he swore to your ancestors as it is today.
Wealth, huh? It's God that produced wealth, huh, Moso?
As long.
Okay, so if that's the case, God gives ideas. God gives ideas and the ability to produce what? Wealth. Because your ideas is wealth. Negroes chasing going to work. I'm going to work. I'm going to work. You ain't finna make nothing. You ain't finna get rich going to work. I just gave you the scripture. I'm finna go to work. I'm finna work 100 hours overtime. You still ain't gonna get it. You ain't produced nothing. That's gonna continue to make money. Wealthy people keep producing. Poor people don't produce. They work overtime. When you produce something, it can't run out. When you produce something, it don't run out. Somebody give me Ecclesiastes 10:19. Come on. Y'all should know this by heart.
Is that money is made for laughter?
You damn right, Malik. My wine is made for laughter, but money trumps all. Here go your preacher. Oh, money's the root to all evil. You a lie. What you want our money for? Talk about money the root to all evil, and then you get your goofy.
Wine is made for laughter. Money trumps all. That's
money trumps all. Yeah, and then they talk about money's the root to all evil, but then you get up there and give a scripture. How do a man rob God? By his tithes and offering. Go sit down. Go sit down, and we listen to this dumb stuff. Y'all got to know the concept of Genesis 26 and 12. Give me Genesis 26 and 12, then I'm going to play this film. Then we're going to have a conversation. Give me Genesis 26 and 12. Because my people lost. My people lost. That's why we poor. And that's why we accept that poor stuff. That's why we accept Section 8 and welfare. We got women on Section 8 in the government. They go to church. Oh, Jesus. I'm going to put it all Jesus. No, you don't. Jesus ain't your father. Welfare your father. Section 8. Government assistance. WIC. That's your damn father.
Said 26 and 12, Noble?
Yes, sir.
It says, then Isaac sowed in that land and reaped in the same year 100-fold, and the Lord blessed him.
So that means what? His harvest. His harvest. He did something. And when he put it in, he put it in a good soil. He reached 100-fold.
Yep.
So he might have put a couple. I use you as an analogy, Maso. Maso got his guard. He put a couple of these bean down boots. Everybody laughing at Maso. Maso, all his guard. Your whole family laughing. They don't want to support nothing. They don't want to help you grow nothing. Now Maso grew 100-fold. Now the family came. What Maso gonna be friendly and feed everybody? I ain't feeding you niggas shit. Excuse my candor. Excuse my candor, because you watch me struggle. You watch me build. And now the family come. You want me to give it all away? No, I got people to give it to. And some of my family gonna go with the Titanic. Y'all ain't listening. That's Bible.
It's long.
I'm finna play this. It was in the text stream. I'm about to play this. Listen clearly.
You need to think. Let me close with the scripture. Genesis chapter 26. Does God want you wealthy? Let's find out. It says in Genesis chapter 26, verse 12, Isaac planted crops in that land, and the same year he reaped 100-fold, because the Lord blessed him. That was in this land right here. The man became what? Rich. Okay, he was no longer poor, he became rich. That's the second level. But watch God. It says, and his wealth what? Continued to grow. He moved into wealth now. And became what? Very, not rich, wealthy. That means he shifted from material to ideas. He had so many flocks and herds and employers, staff. He hired other people, gave them jobs, because he pursued God's will for his life. And the Bible says the Philistines what? Envied him. My question is, how many rich people envy you? This is the problem. Paul says if you're going to win the Jew, you got to make him jealous. How do you make a rich man jealous? I'm going to leave that right there. You figure it out by yourself. You are very smart people. The Philistines envied him because God made him wealthy. Therefore, God does not give wealth. Let's read it. Deuteronomy 8, verse 17. God says, when you become wealthy, you may say to yourself, my hands and my strength have produced this wealth for me. But that's not true, he says. Remember the Lord. For it is he, watch this, who gives you what? Not wealth, the ability to produce wealth. Wow. God doesn't give money. He gives ideas. I'm going to leave you now. But I want you to take your pen and write down this simple list. The word ability, here's what it means. It means ideas. It means schemes, concepts, and projects. God will give you ideas. He will give you schemes. He will give you concepts. He will give you the ability to produce wealth, he says. If you produce something, it can never run out. you always have it. Poor people lose money. Rich people lose things. Wealthy people keep producing. Keep producing. God says, I don't want you to pray for something that runs out. Pray for something that keeps producing. Ideas keep producing. I met Bill Gates for the first time in Tacoma, Washington. I was speaking at a leadership conference and his assistant was there. When she heard me speak, she was on his board. She came to me and said, that was the best information I ever heard about leadership. She says, I want you to meet Mr. Gates. What you're teaching, we need to program this into our systems. I was so surprised. I said, yes, ma'am. I'd like to meet Bill Gates. Who wouldn't like to meet Bill Gates? So the next day, she set up lunch in Tacoma, Washington. And we went out there. That's where his house is, in Washington out there. And we went for lunch. I was so humbled. We met at this beautiful restaurant. He's such a humble guy. I had on a t-shirt, blue jeans. Richest man in the world. T-shirt, blue jeans, tennis shoes. Only poor people dress up. Anyhow, listen. Don't look now. There might be some around you. So we had this awesome lunch together. And I was so thrilled to be with him, as I was with Nelson Mandela and many other leaders. And I learned a lesson. Here it is. Whenever you are with people who are successful, never talk about yourself. Ask questions. I just give you some good advice. Write it down. When you are with successful people, don't talk about yourself.
I hope when you're around successful people, don't talk about yourself. Ask questions. All this is my experience that I was able to deal with in my academic endeavors, dealing with different people. And they come to me, they like, you already rich, sir. And I'm like, what you mean? They're like, because your ability, your ideas, your scheme, your concept, your projects. They're like, you are a project. Why? Because you produce wealth. And then they start looking at all the things that I produce. What? Morris Haberdasher, bindedbooks.com, the BBT. No, we got teas, all type of things. They're like, you produce something that's going to be here forever. Clothing, I got clothing in my brother's name. We produce fez and turbans and kufis. And I'm around people that's poor mentally. I'm not around people that's ideas that keep producing. They're like, get away from these poor people and get around the people that produce. And we invest in you because you a project. I didn't get the concept. But they were like, well, you got to leave the people that don't understand you a project and they don't invest in you. It blew my mind. It blew my mind. I said, oh, snap. They're like, you dealing with people that's not project. You're dealing with poor people that don't understand ideas to produce. They don't understand that you are the idea. They don't understand that you are the scheme. They don't understand that you are the concept and the project. And if your people just get with you and put their effort in, we all will have something. Blew my mind, man. A little bit more, we done.
Questions. And for the 1 hour and 55 minutes, I had the wealthiest man in the world sitting with me. And I used every minute asking questions.
I'll stop right there. And I like to say, I use that's why I went to get my degrees. That's why I've done all the things. Why? To gain experience. Because most people that's successful, they don't mind sharing their wisdom with you. I ain't ask nobody to give me none, but they're like, you got a product and you a spiritual head. Don't your people know this? They're like, so when you get it, then what they expect you to give it all? No. Let me break something down about your mind. Your mind is the M, the mentality. What? See it. What do you see? Imagination. The I is intensely, it feels it. It desires plus your emotions. The N is to name it and write it. Clarity plus creativity. And then the D, do some daily. We create. Wealthy people keep producing. Poor people don't produce nothing. God give us the ability to produce because God gives ideas. Islam? Anybody got anything else? I'm done. That's a wrap. I don't have nothing else. That's it for me, man. I'm gonna keep going.
That's straight to the point.
I'm gonna keep
I
going.
wanted to say one thing if I can. Y'all hear me?
Yeah, of course.
So referencing to when you had said, you had mentioned about not helping people who look like you.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I have been reading. You know, we don't turn on any religion because there's science in all of it. I have been reading the Quran, not the Moorish Quran, but it also says it's in the Moorish Quran too, to an extent.
Yeah.
If you help or save one person, it's like you helped or saved all of humanity. If you turn your
Yes.
back on one, it's like you turned your back on everybody. So don't ever stop doing what you're doing. I don't care who say what. You know what you're doing. We know what you're doing is righteous. Keep going. And I know you ain't gonna lose faith, but I just wanted to mention that it tells us to do that. We supposed to do that. You
Gratitude.
know what you're supposed to do. We doing
And
what we
Dre,
supposed to do.
and that's why I say, man, I love my brothers, man, to keep me like I need it too. And that's what I be telling people. Everybody like, oh, well, you this. I said, dude, you don't just like if it was somebody else, you would think your efforts is doing no good when you're around your people. Then when you go around other people, it's totally different. Like that's all I be saying. The difference when I talk to my mom and my dad, I'm like, but it's like night and day when I'm around academia and when I'm around European Masons. And then and I get it. Like if I save one, I've done my job, but I don't turn my back, on people. What I say is I'm just not willing to put myself out there and get hurt. I'm not willing to put myself on the line anymore. That's all I'm saying, Noble Dresha. I'm not going to be the first one online, the first one to step up for my people. And I don't see nobody else. And I look on the left, I look on the right. It ain't nobody with me but my wife. When it comes down to helping, when it comes down to helping a certain people per se. When I say my people know my voice, and that's what moving out in Arizona has showed me, Noble Dresha. When I say my own people, because most of the people that look like me not in Arizona. This is a red state. And when you hear more talk about Arizona, they have a problem. I never had no problem. I never had no problem with no different races or nothing. With my feds on or nothing. I never had no issue. Never. And I've been in Arizona for 12 years.
I live in Texas. This is a red state, if there ever was one. And I will say, man, ain't nobody tripping on nothing. If anything, they want to know what you know or how you know or why you know, why you do what you do. That's a chance to educate and share information. That ain't nobody hating or sweating you, but people got the perspective of, we ain't gonna get into that, but you know how it is.
I know exactly what you're saying.
I got a guy at my job. His name, I ain't gonna say his name, but he's a big fella. And he always he want to question my religion. Why you doing this? Why you got that thing on your head? Why you? And I know I could report him to HR for talking the way he talks, but I get a chance to educate him. And I notice every time he asks me questions, it's this other dude. He always standing in the background. He always listening and watching. And then afterwards, he'll come and ask me a bunch of questions. Now, I think I want to try to invite him to class. I don't know if he'll come or not, but he is very intrigued. He we out and we wear these things. We have these things. It's a representation of what we are, what we stand for. Then when you open your mouth, that has to come out. That has to be what you talk about.
Yep.
Just from my perspective and my experience.
Islam, Dreshan, and I agree. For myself, like out here, Arizona, most Europeans come up to me, they say they like my religious headdress. Most of them already know me because they know me from lecturing and at the libraries. And a lot of these kids that go to GCU, my picture is in the vestibule, so I lecture. So they know when you see a so-called Indian with the turban on, they don't see him friendly. They don't see nothing crazy. When you see the misnomer Muslim, Islam Muslim, or the Arab with the kufi on, nothing. When you see the Jew with his yarmulke on, nothing. But when you see a brother like Dreshan that know who he is, when he wear his turban, or if he wear his yarmulke, or his bonnet that the Muslim call kufi, or his fez, now everybody go crazy. But the European nations wear their fez. Everybody that's in a position, they wear the fez in clandestine in their meetings, and they know everything about that fez. If I go all the way through history, because I'm a historian, damn it, Mussolini, people made them wear that fez because when they went to the continent of Africa, they saw all them Africans with the toppy. They made them. They made it part of their uniform. Mussolini, Leopold, he made them wear the fez, and Hitler regime was Al-Islam Muslims. I'll be waiting for one of these liars to come on here. I'll be waiting. Because they know. History was told in reverse. It's our people that's lost because we've been conditioned to think we slaves, and somebody will see your freedom that's on your head that others that wear that symbolize who they are. They see you doing it and they flip out because we used to Negro criminals doing it, but we ain't criminals.
That's the biggest part of the psychosis.
Yes. See, we could talk about this. I know what it is because Negroes, we've been conditioned to be slaves and not have no culture so long. We think, oh, Jesus, but Jesus wore, his high priest wore a turban with the jewel on it. They wore tunics, cotton or silk. They wore bonnets. The Levites wore bonnets. Your fez is your toppy. So when our own people looking crazy, no, our people lost because they have no culture and they don't study nothing. And if they sit up and say they do, they lying. They lying because they won't look at you in that way. That's why. And our people is just lost due to the lack of knowledge. Every European that I meet, they know it. That's why I speak how I speak, Drayshawn. I love all people. But when I deal with our misnomer Black people, we are so lost. We are so I'm gonna say it, racist on our own self, and we don't know religion. We like everything is just is messed up. And like I said, I don't have the energy to convince anyone to do nothing anymore. I'm just gonna keep going with the abilities and do what I do. But my voice is not just for Black people. What I tell people, it can be. If all my lectures at GCU was full of different people, and they call me Melchizedek, and they got all my books, and they want me to come to their churches, and I lecture, and they pay me swell, I can't be crazy. I can't be crazy if I graduated with a dual master's degree in first century history and religion and Christian leadership and counseling, talking just like this. I can't be crazy. That means I'm an official and a scholar, like the scripture says. This is the person that should be teaching our people. Nobody else has these qualifications.
We anti-Semitic against our own.
Yes, Malik. Yes, absolutely. I agree 100%. And that's why I say it's dysfunction. It's dysfunctional, and a lot of our families is dysfunctional. When I say family, I mean I can say family, friends, cousins, aunties, whatever. Why? Because we don't support nothing that's real. A dysfunctional family is known to not support each other. That's a generational curse. That's a generational curse. Talk about generational wealth. It's never gonna be no generational wealth. Why? Because when we do something in our family and we can support our own and we have a spiritual base and everybody call themselves Moors or truth seekers, we don't support it. That's why. So we are generational cursed. And with that, I digress. I don't have nothing else. Anybody got anything or anything they want to share? If not, I thank all my brothers and sisters for everything. I'm going to be going back to my city of Flint real soon, doing some leg work. And my will and Allah's will is getting ready to match, because we're getting ready to have our brick and mortar in my city, and I'm gonna be doing real leg work. I'm just tired of doing, I won't say tired, man. My heart is hurting because I do a lot of work at the university, and it ain't nobody that look like me there. That's all I'm saying. All my lectures on campus, it ain't none of y'all. It's all academia. All the books that I demonstrate, I got a library with over 1 million books and documents, and I'm not embellishing. I got over 1 million books and documents, and everybody know me. And when I go on a college campus every Wednesday, I distribute 1,100 books, y'all, and I let the college kids get them for $5. Y'all do the math. 5 times 1,100, you do the math, because I know what it is. And I can't even get that with my people. And they like, these books cost thousands, Sheik. And I have to go where my people know, because in the misnomer Black community, education, wisdom, and spirituality ain't popular. What's popular? Scam artists. Niggerdom is popular in the Black community, because that's all what's happening. Write that down. Niggerdom. Niggerdom, all on TikTok, and y'all know it, Drayshawn, all on TikTok. You got all these goofy Negroes with feathers on, call themselves some grand sheep. Oh, I got this paperwork and this document, you can take it to court. Or somebody showing you that they a cyber citizen, or some goofy Moors in Atlanta talk about they some USSAR bullcrap with a stupid ass badge. Like, come on, y'all, stop playing. I love everybody, man. Support something that's real. We here, we ain't going nowhere. We're gonna continue to teach. We're going to continue to tell the truth, shame the devil. If y'all need any books, any documents, I put my number on there. I get more calls from college students because I got my GCU log up. I get more calls from college students asking me for books before they go to Amazon and buy them than any of my so-called Moors. Any people that be on my page. Why? Because I just told y'all, misnumbered black people pay to get scammed instead of donate for education. Because I can tell you a plethora of people, I don't have enough fingers and toes, Malik, to tell you how many black people got caught up with that Black Wall Street, with them Negroes talking about they Black Wall Street and buy my plan, and I'm gonna show you how to some Bitcoin and all that fake stuff. I can go down the line. The people that done fell for that Roger Elvick fake stuff. I can go all the way down the line with that don't drive with no license. I can go down the line with this Negro calling himself some Moroccan general or some president of Morocco here in the United States. Are y'all that crazy? And that's what I said. How can misnumbered black people be that crazy? And right now, like my European college associate said, he said black people pay to get scammed instead of donate to you to get educated. Because I showed everything about these misnumbered black people on Cash App right now. Right now, Drayshawn, I ain't seen not one European because I'm a troll too. It's all Negroes on there. I need that. I need that. I need that. And everybody in class like, oh, this is a Rico. I said, they don't know this. We was watching the whole Big U and the whole little podcast thing. I told y'all a long time ago, it's Rico. What happened? They all in jail now. And now all the sovereign citizens finna go to jail. I'm finna tell y'all their name. They all get ready to go to jail. I know all of it. They all get ready to go to jail right now. They all got court appointed attorneys. Why? Because you got the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against your retarded ass in a court of law when you're making stupid videos, act like you're doing something, and you get everybody in the burning house. That's why I'm gonna talk about it. Next, I'm gonna start saying people that's been on our page, that's informants. I've been waiting for them to come on my page. I know a whole bunch of them informing Moors. Some of y'all friends with them on social media. I'm telling y'all, I'll be telling people this all day. Why would you want to follow a criminal, Malik? Tell me that. Why would I want to follow a person that I know a criminal, that I know promotes sovereign citizen stuff? Why do I want to
guilty by association?
Thank you, Malik. I'll be trying to say it, but people don't know. I said, okay, well, I just go on this person's page and see who all deal with them, and I'll subpoena every one of you Negroes. How about that? I'll go in all the comments and see everybody say, oh, here go my name. I need that. I subpoena all y'all. Why? Because all y'all down with criminal behavior. Why? Because you just gave your information to break the law. That's why, stupid. You don't understand? I told people the police got a sovereign citizen task force that's sitting on the computer right now. And people, I've been telling this forever. And now y'all getting ready to see people go to jail. All this sovereign citizen, Roger Elvick stuff. I used to share, if Maso was on here, I share with Maso the sovereign citizen, the domestic terrorist list. Years ago, I get it every year. I get it every year sent to me from the police. And all them Negroes on there, I'll be cracking up. I shared it with Maso and he know it. I said, I'm done sharing stuff. I ain't got to prove nothing to nobody no more. I've been showing people this for years. I've been showing people that 1099 ain't no trust fund at the end of the rainbow, that these Moors have been lying. I've been showing more that 8822 number don't mean nothing. And these goofballs got a badge with that on there, act like they got some special code. And they at the colleges, universities, telling all these kids this mess. Trash. Trash. It's all trash. And that's why Moor science get a bad rap, because we let these retardo fardos be teaching stuff. Because I told y'all, misnumbered black people like to get scammed. No disrespect. No disrespect. Why? Because Malik ain't donated to nobody that they say was finna open up a school almost 20 years ago and ain't no school. So people got to say, who donated? Who donated $4 million? Because ain't nobody donate that to me. I would already have opened up our 7th hour. Already would have had a building. And I don't take our kids from school. I give us 7th hour until we got enough resources and people that we can do that. We don't have enough yet. Why? Because we can't even raise enough money. We can't even get people to be consistent. That's why. And the churches do. I'm telling y'all, man, we gotta wake up, y'all. We gotta wake up and see what's happening. All this stuff Trump doing with this martial law and these Negroes and everybody afraid. Trump don't know what he did. He opened up the Pandora's box for y'all, for us. And if people don't understand what's going on in the world, and you think your political status and you don't even know your agenda, like I said, my people are lost due to a lack of knowledge because we refuse to learn. And I love everyone. I hope we continue to learn, support something that's real. Talk to your family about supporting something that's real instead of giving our money away to Uncle Sam, thinking we're getting ready to get a tax return and we're not getting nothing. That's how the religious laws trump everything. That's how all Jewish churches and everything became successful, because they divert the money that they get to Uncle Sam to their religious organization, and you get a tax exempt receipt. Until then, we ain't gonna never have nothing. I love y'all, man. Gratitude for your time. Tell somebody you love them, and peace. We got anything else?
Peace.
Give us our Morris American prayer, Malik. And anybody got our benediction? If nobody have it handy, that's all good. We out of here. But I hope Nobles, please start communicating.
No,
man.
I'm good. Thank you.
Start communicating. I called people, nobody answered. I called a couple of muftis this morning. I don't get no calls. I put things in the text stream. I don't get no call back from nobody. And everybody's seeing it. Like I'm saying, like that's why I said I can't give too much and be worried about Nobles. I call Nobles. I don't call Nobles. Put in the text stream. Nobody say, hey, Sheik, I'm good or nothing. I call brothers to check on. I don't get nothing. So something got to be wrong.
I call back.
Yeah, I know. But we put things in text. It's like we don't check in. Brothers be gone for weeks. I said, damn, what we do? We working that much? We supposed to be a brother. That's why I said some men, I couldn't be in no relationship with a lot of these men that follow the woman. If I say, damn, baby, you ain't gonna call me back. I'm checking on you. I ain't heard from you in a week. We supposed to love each other. Oh, I'm good. I'm working overtime. Nothing. It's just weeks go by. But I gotta stop worrying about that because, like I said early in the message, we gotta take care of ourselves. And I'm only there for those that's gonna reciprocate the same energy. You know, like it hurts my heart, you know, a lot of times that we all ain't on the same page, but we're going to get there with Allah's will, with Malik with us, man, and with our brothers and sisters that's loving on us, with Drayshawn. Thank you for that words of wisdom, Drayshawn. I accepted it and I take it all the way. I'm never giving up, but I do have feelings too, and I have to express myself. You know, a lot of times we bottle stuff up, man, and then it'll bust and we'll take it out the wrong way instead of speaking on it, instead of telling people your heart. Like I get frustrated too when I see things happening and I don't get no responses from my people. Like I said, one of my colleagues said, you care too much, Sheik. They're like, you care too much. You can't care that much. They're like, you got to stop caring and worry about yourself. Like you're going to have a heart attack worrying about everything, worrying about your family, worrying about people ain't supporting all this. They're like, we support you, so deal with us and let everything happen osmosisly and organic. And when the floodgate come in, can't nobody that been with you from day one say nothing. I accept that, Drayshawn. I give you gratitude for those words of wisdom. I'm going to say it again. Wisdom comes from the mouth of babes. And Drayshawn is the youngest brother here. But see, Drayshawn is a family man. I take wisdom from you, Drayshawn. I really do. And I understand what you said. Because I read both. I read everything too. And I accept it. But a lot of times, no, but Drayshawn, the work that we do, a lot of times on this mission, sometimes it just feels like it's worthless with your people. That's all. Even in ministry, when I was doing ministry in the churches, it just felt worthless. And then I go to the prisons and then I deal with different communities. I'm accepted. That hurt. You know, like
why
that hurt.
Why we gotta be locked up for you to be accepted though? That's the cold part about it. Why we gotta be locked up to be accepted?
That's what I'm saying. You know, and I don't know. I don't know. And like I said, I have the pleasure to be on both. I'm from Flint, Michigan. I'm from the hood, the everything raggedy. I'm from Flint, Michigan. I came to Arizona, got my dual master's degree, got a bachelor's degree, and I get to lecture and speak to these people that's PhDs and professors, and they listen to me, and they buy my books, and the professors say, well, would you be a lecturer and help these students graduate? I'm like, me? They're like, yeah, who else but you, sir? I'm like, wow. And so that's all I'll say, man. It's just it's a reality check. How about that? Because I know if I was out here having big booty parties, Malik, if I was selling marijuana, if I was a fool on here flashing money and all that, I have everybody. If I was talking crazy, like I got to say it like my people say, if I was talking like that dude with the messed up eye, Charleston, right? If I was acting crazy like that dude 6-0 just talking a whole bunch of stuff and everybody like, oh, he talking heavy. Man, that shit is stupid. I don't give a damn what nobody. And niggas following it. And if you sit up here saying that you don't, you a lie. Because that's programmed. They put that stuff, they do that to us. They put goofy shit in front of our face. I don't know, he deep. That shit ain't deep.
So I had a friend, you know, I told you my friend Deion Taylor, he's a producer. He produces movies. He put a post up today, and a dude from like Philly or something like that was talking about how he was addressing like how the program, the Big Monster, is okay with, you know, putting all this negative imagery out about us, and as soon as we say something positive, they try to kill it off, and they won't let you put nothing positive out. But you know, you gotta stop using their platforms in order to do that. But yet, at the same time, we haven't been shut down, so we are saying something is right. right?
They
Not
They
a,
don't
can't
want
say
to
and
the
sit
then
down
truth.
on
you
YouTube
also
or IG or none of that. So
you also got to remember too, Sheik. We know you're not insane. You know you're not insane. And the definition of insanity is what? Doing the same thing over and over and over again, expecting a different result. Some people, some groups of people, not all of them, but sometimes you got to take it for what it is and move on to the next group where you accept it, like you say you've been doing. Sometimes that's just what it is.
Mhm.
Unfortunately, we want to help as many as we can, and we may be more passionate about a certain group of people because they may be our people, whether it be family or be it, just people who might look like us or not. They might not be in the right. It might not be the right time for them to accept the message. Sometimes people got to go through things to understand what's right for them and what's not, or they just ain't learned yet, or whatever the case may be. But we know you're not insane, and so if you got to move
Gratitude.
on to another group of people, nobody looking down on you for that. You doing what you got to do. You doing what you're supposed to do. Because them
Gratitude.
might be the people that's gonna put you on that pedestal to where, oh dang, that's that dude in class that he been trying to tell us this. Now these other group of people that put him on the pedestal and we was right there. We had him right there in our hands.
Yeah,
Oh,
man. And
sometimes
that's
people gotta
exactly what that's what they were saying. Like, you don't got a PR. My professor, like, you don't got a PR person. And I'm like, what you mean? They're like, dude, you polished. They're like, you just need a PR person to hit these outlets. They're like, if you pay somebody, your people gonna be pissed because you're gonna go to the next plat, you're gonna go to the stratosphere. And they just be comparing stuff. They're like, if Charleston White and the dude 6'0" that be with that cup looking all in the sky, y'all know what I'm talking about. They're like, come on. But Negroes love stupid shit. I said, damn.
and
it's, it's not even
anything
about.
worth having don't come easy. Anything worth having take work. So
Yep.
the stupid shit is too easy. That's too easy. We can all get out there and act the fool. That's what they love us for. But when it's time
Yes.
for, like Malik was saying, when it's time to really put something out there, it's like, oh shit, this ain't really. Maybe you know what I'm saying. We don't really want people to see this because this brother actually got something. It is a
Yeah.
certain group of people that is against you. That is against what's right. But that don't mean we
Yes.
gotta stop. That don't mean we should stop. We should always keep going and doing like the scriptures say. Save as many as you can, even if you only get one.
I agree. I agree. I agree. That's why we did. That's why we got this Noble Dre Shine, and that's why I said I'm going back to my city and do some leg work physically to try to reach some people. You know what I mean? And see what happened. I'm never going to give up. Like, y'all always know. Like, I got if nothing gonna go, if it don't go past this, I've done my work. Cause look at y'all. Look at all the brothers that's here. Look at the men. Look at the families. We touch lives. You know, it's almost like a doctor, Dre Shine and family. It's like all my family diabetes and high blood pressure, and I'm a doctor, and I can heal them, and they don't want to heal it. They all just dying in front of me. And then at the funerals, they like, well, your brother and your cousin, your uncle, your friend is a goddamn doctor. Like, why y'all dying? Look at him. They're like, oh, for real? Oh, damn, we ain't know. They're like, y'all do know. That's why we got him. Like, what are you talking about?
Yep.
That's why we got him. We watched him for all these years. We watched this man do over 10, 15 years of work online. And so I give gratitude for y'all for accepting me, man. I give gratitude for all my college people, all the professors, and the regular people that deal with me, you know. But like I said, I love my family and my friends, but I do see it's dysfunctional. And I do know my family love me. I know that. But like you said, Dresden, they all ain't there. And I got to understand that too. And that's why, like I was given earlier, that reverse effect, I got to keep going. Because everybody don't have to believe in your mission. But once it get there, they gonna come around and you accept people for where they at. It's just like when you building something. Everybody ain't gonna be there from the beginning. Some people gonna be there after, like, yeah, I was there watching, I knew it was gonna be this, and then they support then. We gotta accept those for who they are and have a
Well,
watchful eye.
the other parts of that, it really is too the psychosis of the deep programming, right? So we got to understand how strong the programming is, and the people who are part of the program don't even understand that they program, right? And it's so deeply embedded that it's a deep psychosis. It's like, not realizing you have a problem until you realize you have the problem, right? Because a person who can only fix the problem once they realize they have a problem, or people have to realize they have a problem, and they have to be willing to correct it. Some of us is already here, already understood. We was innately, the many are called, but only a few are chosen. We are the chosen ones, so we have to teach the other people. And it's easier to teach kids than it is to teach grown adults. And the grown adults are looking for like-minded people, but yet I think the gravity towards that negative connotation of things pulls them away because they're okay with going with the masses, right? And being drowned or being led into a burning building because that's what the masses do under that same psychosis. So it's a tall order, but it's not impossible.
Gratitude. And damn sure ain't impossible when I got y'all like right here, man. That's encouraging, man, and love. It's an honor to be around y'all. That's what I can say. Even when I was in ministry in the city, I didn't have brothers like y'all, man. Brothers was just lost, but they were just going. And I give honor to y'all, man, and to what we doing and the encouragement. And we're gonna keep going, man. So gratitude for everything that we
do
doing.
Want to say
man.
one other thing. I
Absolutely.
don't want us to misunderstand the pedestal, right? The pedestal is not to raise one person above another. It's all of us to come up together. So to raise each other's vibrations. So it's not about putting one person up because, it's one body, many parts, right? The head can't do nothing without the heart, the liver, the lungs, the hands, the feet, the kidneys is all one. So we all have to move unisonly, right? So let's be mindful of that, because some people might use that as, I don't want no man above me. So I don't want the essence of what you're saying to be lost. So I just needed to clear that, on the pedestal up because, people get lost behind those things and they also will be turned away from those things when they misunderstand the essence of what we're saying.
Islam. Do anybody got our benediction and our Moorish American prayer?
Come on, who know the Moorish American prayer besides me and she?
Anybody? And the benediction, if nobody knows the benediction, we go. Come on, somebody.
I got the prayer. I got the prayer. I'll do the prayer. Allah, Father of the universe, Father of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Allah is our protector, our God, and our salvation, by night and by day, through his holy prophet, Noble Drew Ali. Shalom Alaikum, Ayah Ash'ari. Amen. Islam, Hotel. Peace, 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 peace.
Peace, 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 peace.
Now for our talisman benediction, may the benediction of Allah be upon thee and thine always, as thou shalt strive to be a credit to Allah. Make haste to bestow thine acts of love upon thine brethren, and do the best to shun thine evil ones. Remember to take succor of the breast of knowledge, wisdom, fortitude, charity, love, and all standing, that you might nourish the souls of men. Let the truth be the shield in the manifest battles of falsehood. Know that Moors need not to pick the locks to the gates of paradise by means of petty or criminal theft, for behold, the key to salvation already rests within thine own hands. And yes, even though a portion of our nature is weakness, instability, and inconsistency, there is still a greater part of our nature that is divine. May Allah protect thee, guide thee, preserve thee, and lengthen thy age, and give thee everlasting peace.
El Rahman, El Rahim. Peace, peace. And let's send some positive vibrations out to our noble Mufti Alonzo Wright Bey. In his absence, his wife is doing much, much better. She's going to be coming home today. He said later on today, he put in the text stream. So we give praise and honor to Healing Grace, and we give praise and honor to everyone, to our loved ones. And as we go out in the world and tarry, we just want to be a little bit better than what we were yesterday. And with that, I give all y'all brothers honor and love for trusting me and loving me. And I love y'all just as God loved the church. And with that being said, man, peace, 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 peace.
Peace, peace,
peace, peace.
Take us out, G.
mypdfbooks.com. That's books with a Z.
I'm a spirit speaking, truth seeking, heart reaching, knowledge leaking, seeds sowing, harvest reaping, man of meager means. I have yet.
mypdfbooks.com. That's books with a Z.
Once again, this broadcast has been brought to you by mypdfbooks.com. That's books with a Z, where reading fundamental. Also brought to you by bindedbooks.com, where treasures are bound. Be sure to get all of your teas at My Son's Teas, the tea of teas divinely prepared at herbsofmyaunt.com. Be sure to check out all of those musical stylings by Brian Hicks Bay at bhbaymusic.com. For your everyday items and religious regalia, be sure to check out morrishaberdasher.com. And for that everyday especial Morris drip, be sure to check out morsachi.com. And all of these companies are powered by ALO Design Pros. Design your online business strategy today.
No such thing as failure, baby. Don't forget who made you. You can't be thinking minor when you need to be. I'm a spirit speaking, truth seeking, heart reaching, knowledge leaking, seeds sowing, harvest reaping, man of meager meaning. I have yet to leave, I'm still breathing. To quit, I have no reason. I mean, I'm asleep, but I be trying to live my dreams. I cannot even act if it's all easy. Either you gon' do it or you don't. Really, it ain't no in between. Baby, you can ask the sun. It's an everyday theme. Consistency in your routine is how you bring reality. Working like a slave, that's how I made this masterpiece. Living like a god, I lay at night, I rest in peace.